What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So today I wanted to talk about me getting the Valdi's Pauldron of Deadly Mist armor. I finally got it in God of War. This is the exact same armor that the Prime 1 statue has. Very cool armor, gives you constant health generation. So that's actually not what the video is about. We wanted to talk about, of course, BlueBoxHyper Kratos bust. You guys just saw the review yesterday. I'm actually filming this in advance, so I have not even seen the bust in person. But I did want to film it because I have some time right now. And I wanted to talk about how it came about me getting this bust. And I wanted to show you guys some progression photos of it being made. So basically the way this came about, I've been asking BlueBoxHyper for probably 5 years of like, hey, you guys need to make a Kratos bust. And they always told me basically no. Then they made the life-size Kratos, and I was highly considering buying it. Like, I was ready to spend $10,000 plus to get it. Then they told me the price was like nearly $30,000 or 20. It was like 20 to 30 grand. And I was just like, ugh, I definitely did not have the money and the amount of items I'd need to sell. And it just wasn't going to be possible. You know, I still wish I had it, but unfortunately it just did not come about. You know, there's been like some hints that they were going to be making a Kratos bust, you know, and a buddy of mine told me that he heard they were making one. So I just contacted them and said, hey, are you guys making a Kratos bust? And they told me they are for Monsterpalooza. And then I asked about buying it. And basically we came to an agreement that they would sell me the prototype for $10,000, not including Mimir. Mimir was like an event bus that they were selling for the event, and events are very expensive. One, they're traveling from Peru to America. That's got to be, for a team of 4, you know, just a lot of money. Let's just say $1,000 a piece, so $4 grand. The booth for 3 days is gotta be stupid expensive, probably $10,000. You know, so they have to make up for the cost by selling A, Kratos bust, and B, Mimir. They sold them for $3,000 at the event, which is actually like $1,100 more than the normal Mimir would cost. Well, no, it's like $1,000 more, and mine includes a base. So I just had to fixate the rope, of course. Yeah, and so we basically came to the agreement that I would be buying their Kratos bust. They didn't even, you know, like, all they did is send me a concept, and I'm going to show you that right now. I gave them $10,000 based off this image. That right there. That was it, folks. They told me this is the bust we're making. They could not show me a 3D scan because it was being hand sculpted, but they told me this is what we're making. And here's the thing. You guys know that they are absolutely quality. Pennywise, Nun, Caesar bust, Mimir, you know, Night King. Everything they make is pretty much perfect. And so when I saw this, I knew I had to have them. So I had to have it. And here's the thing. I was already in the process of getting my other Kratos bust, which I still really like that. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's very different from this, and I still plan to keep it and have both, but time will tell. But, you know, they basically sent me this photo, and they wanted initially 80% down. I was like, dude, no way I'm giving you $8 grand right now based off this. I gave them, well, first off, they didn't want the money just yet. They said I could pay them in like a month. And so basically about a month later, I sent them $6,000 via money wire transfer. I wired it to their bank account, you know. And then let me show you some updates. We considered having me go pick it up, but it's a 9.5-hour drive to Pasadena in my Tesla, and that's just a lot of time, folks. So we decided to ship it. All right, now let's look at some of the sculpting processes. So this was Kratos' first physical image they showed me. As you can see, it's being made out of clay. Although that kind of looks 3D printed, maybe even the face, I don't know. But it looks like it's being hand sculpted. And look at the base, like this is massive. So this is the first image I actually got to see, which is really cool. And then that one. And then I did a little Photoshop edit, which I'll show you here in a sec. But when I saw this, I was like, dang. You know, and here's the thing. This image was only sent like a month ago. So they were quick on this, folks. Normally, Blue Box is pretty slow. Like, they're a small team. There was 4 of them at Monsterpalooza. I don't know how big their actual team is, but if I was to guess, there's probably maybe 7 to 9 of them, you know? And, you know, but they made Kratos an absolute priority because they wanted him ready for the event. So this was like a month ago, which is crazy because my other Kratos bust, granted, it's a team of 1 guy, you know, it's nearly a year, you know, and it still isn't fully complete. And this was completed. I mean, I don't know how long it took to get to this process, but from when we first talked and they didn't really have images to show, I'm going to say it took them 2 months to make this. All right, there's a little Photoshop I did, which is kind of funny. I used their life-size armor, put an axe, and the mirror. That's just kind of funny. So, yeah, that was the image. That was the cash I sent. I sent that to them. You know, I had to deposit it to the bank, and then I wired it to them. Alrighty, don't want you guys to see the wire info. All right, this was the next sort of photos they sent me. I don't know exactly what they did here, but as far as I know, they cast this in silicone. You know, like it's cast in silicone. You know, like here's the body being cast in silicone, and you can see it's like a metal, almost like pipe or something, a metal thing to, you know, withstand the weight. And then the silicone area, and I believe it's also fiberglass is what they said. It's like a fiberglass interior with a layer of silicone and the metal for withstanding the weight of the axe and holding the mirror. But, you know, this is all cast in silicone. Now, there is another image. I just have to be careful because a lot of the photos are also like, you know, financial photos. Don't want to show any of that. All right. Here is the next photo where I actually got to see the full body, you know, basically painted up for the first time. Not the final paint, but like, you know, like the first big paint up. So it was really cool to see this. You know, I got to see this. I was like, dang, that looks sick. You know, it's kind of crazy seeing Kratos without his beard, you know, because you always see him with the beard, you know, in the newer games. Of course, in the old games, he looks quite a bit different. But in the newer games, you know, it's just weird seeing him without a beard. But they showed me this. That was about 3 weeks ago. All right, there is another angle. And then there was the axe that they made. You know, right here it's just like, I don't know if it's 3D printed. I don't think so. I don't know what it's made of, but, you know, we'll see when I actually get it. But it looks really good. This was kind of the mirror they were making for the event as well. All right. Then, so literally, they went to LA several days early, and Kratos wasn't even finished yet. Like, they were finishing him in the event, like in their hotel room, as far as I'm aware. Like, the image I'm about to share to you is Kratos, Amish Kratos, bear in mind, because he doesn't have his mustache and whatnot. It looks super funny. But this is kind of one of the closest images. I received it literally just last week on Wednesday, the day before the event. This is what Kratos was looking like. So as you can see, you know, they have to hand punch every individual hair. And that is super time consuming, folks. That's a lot of hair, having to use like a little, like, I don't know if it's a needle or whatever, and then like pinch it into the silicone. It's a lot of time. But at least here, you know, we got to see the glass eyes and kind of a good detailed image of the Kratos face. You know, it looks awesome. Yeah, and to me, this, like, that looks like a bathroom, painting in a hotel. So I literally think they were just doing this in their hotel, using like a lamp for lighting. You know, one thing I do want to get, and I was asking them, but they won't do it. I want to get this. I want that. You know, Kratos obviously wears that here in the video game, not in this exact image. But if we got out and right there, check it out. You know, and I kind of just want to either display it next to the bust or try to attach it to the base or something. I want to get that though. The, you know, Bifrost lamp is what that's called. All right, then. All right. Of course, you guys saw the first day of the event of the bust. It was not even, you know, like wearing armor. The second day also, he was not even complete. You know, let me show you a quick photo in case you guys never saw it. You know, like right there, it's still technically not complete because he's missing his lower armor right there and the armor right there. There was no eyelashes installed, and he said there was just a few other things he had to paint and fix. So, you know, I was waiting on that. Mimir also, I noticed, didn't have like the beads in his braids were not, you know, in his hair. When I realized that, I was like, yeah, I definitely, you know, don't want that Mimir. I like the one-eyed version because he is like that in the game, like 99%. You don't actually get the eye until the very end of the game. Because I'm actually like, I just beat Baldur. I'm just doing some side quests right now. It took me 3 days to beat this game. You know, and I'm going to play Ragnarok. But, yeah. So, basically, as I'm filming this video, which is Sunday, the event ends today. They're going to be finishing up like the eyelash install, all the additional things. I noticed on the base he didn't install the ruins yet. You know, like the Norse ruins. It was just all red. I told him, yeah, you need to do that. So he says he'll do that. So I don't even know what the bust looks like completely done yet. You know, you guys are seeing this video and I haven't even received it in person yet. But, you know, I know it's going to be absolutely amazing. So for me, you know, like I was saying, and I was trying to like hype you guys up, I believe this Kratos bust is going to be the greatest piece of my collection for multiple reasons. It's first off, it's BlueBoxHyper, which is perfect detail, and it's a half body, so it's an Infinity Studio style bust with arms holding an axe, and his axe is badass. And the thing is, I could also swap out that axe. Like, I'll have to see how it compares size-wise to my other axe, because that one's pretty small. But if this one's also small, I could technically have him using that level, like, I know it goes up to level 7, although mine is level 6. Maybe 6 is the highest. I swear I'm maxed out. But level 6 axe, you know, like the axe, I love that axe look. The one in the bust is like the original level 1 axe, you know. And then his armor, I can actually show you the armor in the game. You know, right now I have this Valkyrie Pauldron of Deadly Chris. This is similar to the other Prime 1 statue, but it's a different Valkyrie armor. That's the classic armor that the bust is going to be, you know, using. You know, so that is that. And then that is his wrist straps, you know, where you have these incredibly cool gauntlets right here. That is what he's going to have. And they also didn't even put the chains on it. You know, chains is something I may consider putting on it. It depends. You know, my plan as of right now is to keep both my Kratos busts, because the other one is very different. I mean, the only truly similar thing is they have the same armor, more or less, and you know, the base is somewhat similar. You know, like a gray, you know, base. They're a little bit different, but they're very similar bases. So what I actually plan to do as well is BlueBoxHyper told me that they're going to make a God of War Ragnarok armor that they will sell to me in the future. So I plan to buy that so I can have both my Kratos busts with different armors, because I do not want the same armor on both. But the Blades one, obviously he's holding the Blades of Chaos, which is super epic, and it's open mouth where the other one is closed mouth, so it's a much different expression. And as you guys notice, I have two of basically all my favorite characters. Two Spider-Man. I don't know Spider-Man. Yeah, I get him tomorrow, but you guys will have seen it. You know, but two Spider-Man, two Iron Man. Technically two Batman, although it's not the exact same Batman character, but two Batmans. You know, most likely I'll get the other Arnold bust of two Arnolds because it's so drastically different. You know, but I kind of am doing like two busts of all my favorite characters. The other bust I would love to get, but I just don't have space, is Majin Vegeta. So I did want to show you guys kind of my plan for the Kratos bust. I want to show you a photo of kind of how I can do it. All right, check this out. Boom. So here's one option. We can more or less move the clicker over to where you have Horizon Zero Dawn, lower that, move some statues out in the hallway so those can go down low, and then do this. This would be pretty freaking epic. You know, you got to do this one over here. There's like more depth there, and then this one here. Now, we don't technically have to do it like this. I could technically just do the blades one here, keep clicker here, and not even put this in here. Instead, have this right here in the middle room, because it is going to be the best piece of my collection. And I would love to have it in the best possible spot with constant viewing angles. You know, I almost kind of want to put a Majin Vegeta here and just have like my two favorite characters right here. You know, my two favorite characters are Kratos and Vegeta. Oh, shoot, I do not want to equip those. But, yes, Vegeta, Kratos, those are my two favorite characters. God of War is my favorite video game. DBZ, favorite anime. So, it kind of depends. Here's the thing. Obviously, this is silicone, BlueBoxHyper, perfect detail. And Mimir is the most detailed head in my collection. Like, more detailed than any other silicone I own. So, I know this is going to be 10 out of 10 detail. This looks really good. The eyes were drastically improved from before. We made the blades black right here. We improved the base color. We added nails to the fingers. We made a lot of improvements to this bust, and I'm very excited to get it. But the fact it's not silicone, I just don't know if like the skin is just going to look quite different. You know, like this one's going to have a lot more realism. And so, you know, that's where I'm just like, if the detail is drastically off, I can't display them together. Instead, I'd probably display this one here and then the other Kratos right here to get that perfect viewing angle, you know, and my favorite character, best piece, you know, centerpiece to everything. Now, here's why I do believe it will be the best piece of my collection. And we'll see, you know, when I actually get it, of course. But, so first off, this bust is 40 inches tall, 40 inches wide, 40 inches deep. So that's almost Thanos size. Thanos is 45 inches tall and like 48 wide and like 25 or maybe 28 deep. So obviously Thanos is 5 inches taller and he's 8 inches wider. Kratos is going to be, you know, he's going to be deeper, you know, and here's some of the photos I actually got at the event. So this is like the most latest photos I got. You know, and that just to me looks killer. Mimir, absolutely insanely cool. So, yeah, so like I said, it's going to be one of the biggest busts I own. It's full silicone half torso. They'll have the most silicone of any bust I own. You know, right now, most silicone is Daenerys and Wonder Woman. I would say those two have the most silicone of any bust I own. And I guess technically Hulk bust, but if we're just counting like upper torso, I mean, she has full arms, full chest, full neck up. You know, Wonder Woman has her back, arms, face, neck. Kratos is going to have his entire upper torso. That's full silicone. So that right there is absolutely, you know, awesome. The fact it's full-blown silicone with armor on top, changeable armor. And if I don't want him holding Mimir, I could have him holding, for example, that, you know, Bifrost lamp or anything else really I want. He could technically be holding them. But if we're just basing off this initial concept, so he's holding an axe, which is super badass, a huge giant Kratos axe, which is epic. You know, Thanos is a one-armed holding the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, the Infinity Gauntlet is better than an axe, no doubt. However, when you combine the axe and Mimir, the most detailed head of my collection, that is one that tops the Infinity Gauntlet, and, you know, it tops anything in my collection, frankly. Because I look at everything else in my collection, you know, like, in terms of what they're holding. You know, like, she holds a giant badass sword. He has a machete. He has his blades, and all my other Infinity usually are only, like, holding something tiny. You know, Batman holds his helmet, which is really cool. Superman's pulling open his chest. Wonder Woman holds a rope. The other Batman holds a little batarang. Harley is probably one of the better ones because she has the bat and a gun, which is really cool. You know, but nothing will beat this. Nothing. So in terms of concept, it's pretty much right up there at the top. Great base that ties into the game. You know, concept is, you know, like 10 out of 10. Axe, Mimir. You know, and then thirdly, Kratos is the most badass character. It's the most greatest video game ever made. You know, his story arc from when he was just a general in an army killing for freaking Ares to killing Zeus, and then this game, and then Ragnarok, and can't wait to see what's after Ragnarok. You know, he just is the ultimate character, and I freaking love it. It's also one of the most fun combats in any game. This, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy 16, though, like, those are three of my favorite combat, like action combat, and Devil May Cry 5 as well. Freaking love that combat. But, you know, so God of War is just like the ultimate game, ultimate character, and the concept's 10 out of 10. It's BlueBoxHyper detail, you know, which is just absolutely unfreaking beatable, folks. So, these are all the reasons I've been claiming over the last month and a half since this project, you know, was given to fruition, that it will be the best in my collection. And I truly believe that. I will see in about 2 days, well, 3 days. Let's see, Monday, yeah, about Wednesday or Thursdays when I'll get it. So, you know, as of right now, when I'm filming this, of course, he is not in the collection, but you guys will see this the day after he's in my collection. You know, so just go in this room real quickly. You know, we're going to be putting them right there. You know, here's my Mimir. But I am going to have to, like, fixate this rope to go in his hand. It's, like, kind of knotted up here. I'm going to have to undo that knot and fix it around his hand. Now, there's the Deadly Mist armor you can see. And like I said, I want a life-size version of that. You know, theoretically, I could have Kratos holding that axe, but that axe is just really small. You know, so theoretically, he could technically hold Blades of Chaos. If a blade could rest on his back shoulder, another one could technically be held in his arm. You know, I will probably definitely do some upgrades to the bust, you know, like maybe add the chains. I'm still not 100% certain, because here's the thing. You know, in the first part of the game, when Kratos doesn't have his Blades of Chaos, which is what this is meant to be from, he doesn't have the chains around his hand. Only when he does get the Blades of Chaos does he have it. Even Prime 1, they don't put the chains around his wrists unless you're displaying the Blades of Chaos. So I probably won't do it. My other bust will have the Chains of Chaos, or the chains with the Blades of Chaos. You know, so, but like I said, I definitely want to add a life-size version of that. We'll have Mimir, you know, and eventually I'll buy their upgraded armor from Ragnarok, and I'll either display it on their bust, or I'll even display it on my owner one, you know, because, you know, I still freaking love his bust. I just have to change that out to a God of War poster, and that'd fit right there for sure. And then that would go here with Last of Us 1. I was even thinking of lowering Resident Evil 2 here, moving Devil May Cry there, moving that, and Laura out in the hallway. I even have, I'll save it for another video, but I got other ideas as well. But nevertheless, you know, Kratos bust, I'm so excited, folks. I literally have been thinking about it just all day, every day for the last long time. And of course, I did want to tell you guys, you know, I couldn't even tell anyone really till Monday, they said. But I wanted kind of to keep it a secret till I just got it. I feel like it builds more hype. You know, so, yeah, Blue Box did not want me telling people about the Kratos bust. They're like, we need you to keep this a secret. We want to surprise everyone at the event. Although, I will say, the coverage around this event is very lackluster in the statue Facebook community. Like, very few photos, very few people talking about it. You know, it's like, dude, there was so many good pieces at this event. What the fuck? You know, I'll probably make a separate video talking about that will air before this. Anyways, folks, I'm going to get back to playing God of War because I freaking love it. Even just doing side quests are so much fun in this game. But Kratos life-size bust coming home. You guys have already seen it, but Flankster super excited to get it. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.